But anyway, let's get into our KS of War tonight. All right, welcome to our sectional qualifier. And how do you say that? Is it BIATL? BIATL?
Well, it's the Boston Invitational, and ATL is just an abbreviation for Atlanta.
All right, well.
So it's the Boston Invitational at Atlanta.
All right, well, I was hoping you would come up with a cool, like, sounding aspect around that acronym. I just couldn't think of it. BIATL. All right, anyway, it's a battle droid. There you go. It's like a battle droid.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about, here's some of them. They have the 2K that went on. There was a sectional qualifier that had 546 people, which is just crazy. Like, I think, what was the highest we had in X-Wing? Like, when we played in Worlds that one time. Like, that was, like, crazy. Like, just...
Oh, the one out in England was, like, 550, but Worlds was, like, maybe 400.
Yeah.
So, from perspective.
Yeah, so, like, that's the largest tournament I've ever played in. And that was, like, very sweaty and very warm, and there was a lot of people there, and you were very cramped. So I can't even imagine what this is going to be like. But there's also a showdown in Paris, whatever, and then they had a 6K, which they had to split into 2 pools. I don't know why. I'm guessing because they didn't have room at the shops for it, but they had a 6K with basically over 100 people in each of the pools. And then what they did is they took top 8 from each of the pools, paired them together, and then kind of like created a curated list based on MOV, and then paired them up from there, which we'll cover in just a second for it. So those were the major tournaments that happened this weekend. The Star Wars, I don't know, what is it called? Star Wars Competitive Hub is the website. We'll have a link in the description if you want to check it out yourself. And you can, as you can see in the top 8, I didn't do the top leaders. I just care about the top 8. Jango came out with the highest number in the top 8 at 37.5%, which I do think is close to where Boba was when they started talking about banning him. I think Boba was almost at 40% in the top 8 when they started to talk about banning him.
Yeah, but this is...
Yeah, you're right. This is one
this
weekend.
Is top 16. This is top 16. It's 6 in top 16.
And top 8. Nope, top 8.
There's more than 8 right there. You just count. There's 16.
There's 4 tournaments, though. What I'm saying, this is not the one tournament, man. This is all the tournaments together from the weekend. So out of all the tournaments together, these are all the top 8 people that place top 8.
Okay.
So.
My bad.
Yeah. So again, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, it's not the worst thing, but this is something that we should definitely keep an eye on. I'm a little surprised we don't see more Sabines being played, but it is Europe, right? And they never were really big into the Sabine, it seemed like. It seemed like people over in Europe play crazier stuff than we do. It's like, we should just move to Europe, Alex. It would be like Palpatine mirrors all over the place.
I wish.
Yeah. So now we'll talk a little bit about the sectional qualifier. This is your top 8 here. Is this. Everybody but this lone Piat yellow deck, which, by the way, we're going to cover that list. I watched that on stream and immediately wanted to build it. Just like that guy made misplays, and then I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, there's some misplays he's making. Like, that deck looks fun. That's like my Palpatine deck a little bit.
Separatist energy.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
Ships, which is kind of wild.
Crazy. I loved it. But that was the only one outside of the Jangos that made it. So over here, you can see, before we get into the individual leaders, the aspects, that's telling. Cunning was almost 300 participants ran a cunning aspect for their leader. For their leader. Yeah, not even their base. This is their damn leader. Well, that's crazy.
Literally half of that is Jango, so...
Yeah.
But still, that's more than the other colors as well.
Yeah, they're coming in at 54%, almost 54%. That's just, I don't know. That's a lot. When we look at the actual meta, we had 145 Jangos, which was 26.36, so basically 26.5%. 12% Quinlan, 7.5 Piat, 7.5 Han, 7.5 Boba, 5.5 for Sabine, 5.5 Cad, and look at that, our Pelps made the cut, baby. 4.5% there for some Palpatines. So this is definitely not the meta I want to play in. It's a bunch of Jango Fetts. Like, I don't find playing against Jango super fun personally, but it is what it is. So this is the breakdown though. So like, this being 26%, we should only be seeing him hit a cut rate of 26% then, or maybe a little bit more. His cut rate should not be at like 75%. So if we get this over and over again, that's where the big issue becomes, right? Is if we hit this over and over again, where he's hitting 20% of the meta, 30% of the meta, and then all of a sudden I'm hitting 70% of top cut. So I can't imagine all the good players are only going to run Jango, right? Like, I don't know. People seem to be swerving to Jango, but they didn't do that for Sabine, at least. Like, we didn't have all the top players on Sabine. So do you want to actually cover the list, or do we just want to cover the changes that are in this list from set 3?
Well, I think we just go over changes, because everyone knows what the Jango Fett list is, right? Everyone knows what Jango Tarkatan is. Yes, there are some small differences, but I think the important thing is, like, what do they change from set 3 to set 4? What do you need to be ready for? It's those, like, what are you called? Devastators. It's the planetary bombardments, that some main board, others sideboard. It's those big changes that are important. War Juggernaut.
So you see the War Juggernaut, right? That's the one of them. The First Order Stormtrooper, which that's not any whatever. That's fine. Then you have your Devastator is the other one. They are running one of Krennic's shuttle, one of those ST-149s. So just one, but they're running one of those, and then 3 War Juggernauts. And their sideboard is wild. That's a wild sideboard. I've not seen that sideboard. And like, that's a JJ sideboard. Why are you running one guerrilla soldier in your sideboard? Like, I'm confused by that. And one commandeer, one sneak attack, which I guess the sneak attack makes sense because that completes the set of them. But like, one guerrilla soldier, the 2 planetary bombardments, I understand. And then they have 3 Cham Syndulas. Like, is that just for the Han matchup? Is that what that's for?
Piat matchups too.
Or Piat matchups? Okay.
Yeah,
A lot of it is because things that ramp ahead of it, they have higher quality stuff that they can counter them with if the more resources you have. So Cham kind of puts it on like a more even playing field like that.
So we were
there's a lot of other sideboards that have Cham in there.
So that was super fun of AMG or FFG to give us a red ramping card.
Fine with me.
So
I do think that the one guerrilla soldier is weird. I feel like that should, in my personal opinion, be a main board, because it's, hey, either you put it on base and I get the ready, or you put it on your unit and I just get to tap it down.
Or both.
Or both. So I'm like,
even worse.
Shocked that it's not in the main board.
Yeah, so this was the deck that won.
It's kind of wild to me that the first place one had triple Death Star Stormtroopers, the 3 ones.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more ground units. It's 21 ground units as opposed to like 18 space units, right? So it's a little bit different than you normally expect. But, hey, if you're going to a bunch of Jango mirrors, it's pretty cool to have a bunch of ground units.
Yeah, this feels like
War Juggernaut, but
this feels more like what I would consider the like aggro version, like more than a tempo, even a tempo version. This is not this. This is definitely more the aggro feel.
Yeah, they have 12 units that cost 1.
Yeah,
which is pretty crazy, and the 3 daring raids, so you can have multiple deployment, like multiple units on the first turn, or a unit Death Star, or a daring raid, or whatever. Bunch of stuff. It's wild to me that they have 9 units that have 1 health.
and in this meta too, with Tarkin Town and all that stuff. Like,
well, the Tarkin Town ain't gonna do anything against 1 health, but like Quinlins and Cad Banes and
Pelps and
other Jangos with their War Juggernauts just wipe your entire board.
Yeah.
So
All right, the runner-up had a very similar list, except for he had 16. He only has one crafty smuggler, and he has 2 of the guerrilla soldiers, which that makes sense, and 2 of the Guavian antagonizers, the bounty one. But it's a one cost, right? So you know,
maybe they're just on more one cost stuff, and maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. I'm not actively playing a lot of Jango.
The Zygerian Starhopper's also there.
Yeah, that's what I'm more used to. I'm actually surprised that other lists didn't have that either. Like that ship is amazing in Jango.
And Boba.
Yeah, and Boba. Okay, fine, and Boba. We're not talking about Boba right now, though.
A little bit better in Boba, but the first place list only had 2 Kylo's silencers for their they're not going into space basically in the first go, which is pretty wild. This one, at least you have options to go into space on your first turn.
Yep.
So, and 1 arm to the teeth, baby.
Yep, I love that.
Second place, why not? I mean, smuggle it out. It can go onto spaceships. It's just funnier.
Yeah, and usually you have multiple in Jango. You have multiple units out at a time, so it always works.
This deck is also running No Good to Me Dead, which
main deck in it
was something that I'm shocked the first deck wasn't. Personally, that thing typically will just get my deck all jumbled up. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that. I don't know. I've seen people throw that sideboard more and not running it, but I don't know. The 1 7th Fleet Defender 2 in the side is just wild.
The third one.
Whatever. Though. Yeah, I don't. But, okay. I don't know.
It plays into Jango mirrors better because it's shielded. I don't know. Only 1 Radiant's sad to me. I like the Radiant a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to go in a Jango deck, but it's a cool ship. Love reversed gridding things.
All right. Well, the third place is also a Jango deck, and I promise you this will be the last one from Milan that we cover that's a Jango deck. This one has 1 Sanctioner shuttle in it, which I get 100%. I get that. That makes sense. This one also has the 2 Bobas pilots in it that the other one didn't. So that's kind of different. And then it has the electromagnetic pulse, which I mean, that. If we have to play Jango mirrors, just include that in your deck. I added it to my Boba deck, and guess what? Oh no, I have 1 resource left. You triple dark rated something in. Sucks to be you, baby.
Right, or hey, because I believe it just hits vehicles, right? It doesn't specifically say non-leader stuff. So if they get it a pilot into a vehicle or something like Boba, you just exhaust it.
Yep. And
also droids, tragically.
No, that's awesome that it does droids too. Because
no, someone used it against my IG-88. It felt really bad.
That's hilarious.
So Sanctioner, so that's the
coordinate
3-drop
capture.
coordinate capture. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know where I run that in my Vader yellow deck. That's it. It's good in my Vader yellow deck. I don't want to hear it. I love it.
That's what I ran up against that earlier today. I'm just cool.
Yes, we have a whole deck tech I did on that. That was my number 1 deck I wanted to play because it was so much fun being able to have 10 TIE fighters out on the board. But it's not worth playing against Jango. Period. It's just not fun to play against Jango. So
or any war juggernaut. I'm sure.
Sure. But so all right. Well, that's that. Now we're gonna cover, and this one we are gonna go over because this one is a Piat deck. Piat will probably be the one I like the most once Palpatine retires, unless we get a new Palpatine, a real Palpatine, not a Chancellor Palpatine. That one's okay. That one's fun to run. Don't get me wrong, but it's not got the same feel as my set one.
You'd be super busted.
Yeah, Bob. We could be wrong once in a while, Alex.
No, we weren't wrong.
So, anyway, so this is the Piat Yellow deck. Justin, would you like to read over the deck for us? Just tell us the names and the quantities.
Yeah, we got for ground units. We're gonna start with that. 3 B1 security teams, 3 Bib Fortunas, 3 Separatist commandos, 3 super laser technicians, as always in a green villainy deck. 2 Cad Bane hostage takers, 2 battle droid commandos, 2 Mauls. That's interesting to me. The green one, yes, the green Maul. 1 Bazine and 1 reinforcement walker. Following that up, we have 14 space units, starting off with 3 Devastators, inescapable. If I'm correct, that is
the green ones.
Yeah.
Resupply carrier, 3 invisible hands, crawling with vultures.
That's the yellow one.
Cool. 2 Arquillians, assault cruiser. That's the one that ambushes and takes your unit once you kill it. 1 Chimera flagship of the 7th Fleet. That
yellow Chimera.
Yeah,
that's
the 8 cost Chimera. I don't think I've seen that scene play until
now. Somehow know what card is in your hand, and now I'm gonna force you to discard it on attack.
Right. 1 finalizer, Might of the First Order. 1 invincible, the novel adversary. Finalizer's interesting. I mean, it does capture
That's certainly
stuff.
a choice.
That's certainly a choice. Not one I'd make. Then for events, there's 17 total with 3 Overwhelming Barrage. Again, if you're playing Green Villainy, you play this card. 3 Resupply, 3 Triple Dark Raids, 2 Dogfights. That's a card. 2 No Good to Me Deads, 1 Commandeer, 1 Jump to Light Speed, 1 Sneak Attack, and 1 Waylay. For the sideboard today, it's full with 10 cards. We have 3 Outlaw Coronas, 3 Scanning Officers, 2 Relentless, 1 Change of Heart, and 1 Commandeer.
The dogfights are kind of interesting with the Architans because it lets you attack even if you're exhausted, so you can just
capture
things.
Yeah,
no, into your resources with your appointments, which is nuts.
If that's the case, why not just bump that up 1 and drop 1 I don't know, Finalizer? Because why is that in the deck?
All right.
I don't know why.
You could put you could just put the Executor in the deck if that's what you wanted to do. I wouldn't put any of those in there, but you could do that. I would rather run Relentless main board than Finalizer and Chimera.
Jeez, I would just run off Aspect Annihilator. Come on, at this point.
No. But the other Invincible, is that the 8 cost black one, the neutral one, or is that
the invisible hand? The Invincible's the yellow.
Yeah, it's the yellow.
Costs 1 less if you have a separate.
I know he has unit. 2 of them in there. One of
he has the Invincible and the Invisible Hand.
Okay, so what's the Invincible? Sorry,
that's the yellow one that costs the 1 less if you have a unique Separatist unit, and then when you deploy your unit, you can bounce something with 3 or less, or deploy your leader.
All right, I would almost have 2 of those over that Finalizer. I would even consider running 3 personally, just with that deck, because you have a lot of the things. The one thing I don't see in here, and maybe I missed it. Yeah, I don't see why is he not running Poggle, right? Poggle just makes sense. I would run Poggle in this deck. I like the Bib Fortunas. That's hilarious. That's probably why he has all those weird one-off things, is for the Bib Fortuna. But I would be running Poggle. That's just me.
Poggle taps down whenever you play a unit to create a battle droid, correct?
You can exhaust them to create a droid after you play a unit. Yeah. But
So
it's
you
also a unique Separatist unit for Invincible.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's it works very well for that.
It works well together. Yeah.
Yeah, you could bring Invincible out on turn 3 if you have a Separatist unit out, because it costs 1 less plus your Piat discount.
Right. So it costs 2 less, which would put at 4 resources.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems great to me. You don't even have to triple dark raid that shit out. I would that's a great unit just to be able to have on that turn, because they dropped anything in Jango, they could drop anything. You could just go, here you go, I'm going to kill that.
This is like my Dooku deck, except for they did it with Piat.
Yeah, because they
could added Finalizer and Chimera.
The 1 Reinforcement Walker, I think, also just needs to get brought up.
So tragic.
That card's so good.
Just run 3. You have triple dark raid. You can heal 6 off of it, or drop 2, or 1 each.
my god, it's so good. I
Triple
genuinely
outlaw Corona on the side too. It's just like I get it, but no.
No, you don't need it. You don't need
Don't
it. There's
ramp
no
your
reason.
opponent.
Yeah, there's no reason to put that in there. Can you imagine giving that to a Jango fat? Like, here you go, buddy. Like, let me help you get to your flip turn early.
just take out the finalizer and Chimera, take up the invincible one, and take up the reinforcement walker one. No Good to Me Dead's so good. It's weird because I don't like the one-ofs. Alex knows me. I never play one-ofs. I don't think you ever play one-ofs, Tanner. I haven't played you much.
Not
You
really.
play one-ofs?
Once in a great while. I have a. How about this? I have a
specific.
I have a one of War Juggernaut in my Boba deck just to be spicy, and that's it.
Which
Other than that,
fair.
I don't almost ever run a one of.
I have a one-off tack in the trench deck.
There you go.
Which that's fair as well, right? You can just move that second commandeer to sideboard, and you don't need one main board. You can do the jump to lightspeed main board. I don't think you need that in general. Personally,
It's really cool with the invisible hand. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
or I don't know,
Play it again.
with the Devastator.
Or the resupply carrier and ramp more.
Yeah,
And maybe it's just because of my playstyle, but like I would get rid of the sneak attack personally, and I would have more waylay. And that's just me. I would have the waylay, at least one more waylay in there, and then I don't know. The jump to light speed is fine. The commandeer is okay. I don't like the dog. I personally don't like the dogfight, but that's just me. It's not like I get it. But that seems like a very small niche scenario where you would use a lot of it. And
Devastator is overwhelmed as well,
I guess,
And so does the finalizer, technically.
yeah. Well, the one you're gonna draw almost never, because
Chimera's got an on-attack effect, So does the invisible. Actually, the invisible hand is really, really good with dogfight. I don't mind the dogfight in this. Actually, I probably wouldn't run the triple super laser decks.
we know you wouldn't. We know how you are. You would not. We know you.
There's no way of killing them myself. I need that.
See, you need the double waylay, because when I'm playing you and I drop a Luke and then put 2 Jedi lightsabers and a Luke lightsaber on it, that ain't returning. That ain't getting captured. You need that waylay. You really need the waylay for the Voltron decks.
Yeah.
Or Pyre.
And that's fine. You could put them in the sideboard, and I'd be okay with that. I would immediately drop those Coronas out of there. Just get rid of those things.
For sure.
Those are never needed. I would put Sabine in the sideboard too, and I would put Poggles in the main, and I would increase the reinforcement walkers at least to 2, if not 3. If I'm going to run triple dark raid.
Oh, Bazine. Okay, sorry.
Did I say Sabine? Oh,
okay.
I'm a little bit iffy on the bib too.
Yeah, the bibs are
not really necessary.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's a deck tech that I've seen people use in some of the Jangos. People are running it in Jangos for some reason, and it's fine. I personally am not sold on it yet. I agree with you. You could easily just put Poggle in there for that, and
it lets me play my spaceship for 3 less instead of 2 off TBR, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I was about to say it takes down tricks specifically, or is it
no?
Just any event?
That's
Java.
This is just any event. The first event you play, I believe. Or no, you have to exhaust them down. Action,
yeah, you have to exhaust them. Yeah. So it's just
it's fine. It's if you're gonna have those, you don't need super laser techs either. Then right? You really don't need 3 sets of ramp in that deck. So.
Would you guys say Maul over Vader?
Yes, in that deck, I think I would, because you don't care about your low end units that you're pulling.
You're already pulling them with Invisible Hand too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yep. And your Vader, the reason you want the Maul is because you get the overwhelm damage on the base. So Maul can hit a leader, by the way, too. So if you ramp and you have the ability to get there before Jango does, or the same turn Jango does, you have the ability to kill Jango or Quinlan instantaneously. It's not even a question. So
or Luke.
Oh no,
I 7 health.
Yeah,
100% agree, including Obi-Wan. Unfortunately, but I was just wondering. Just wondering.
All right, let's move on. The next large event was a 6K in Atlanta. They did 2 pools, as we saw earlier. So you had one side versus the other side. I don't think they separated the pools when they did the top 16. They just merged the 2 lists together. And as you can see, this is kind of the bracket breakdown that somebody had posted. The Philippe Samuelson is the Han Yellow player who did take it down over George Hudson, who is the infamous guy that likes to run the Hondo deck. He was the guy that like got me into Hondo originally, and so he took down a lot of stuff with Hondo in set 2. And so he was now running a CAD Colossus deck, which is pretty cool. So this was kind of the big thing for the weekend that a lot of people were following, because this one also had the team event at it as well. So if we move on, we just kind of look. This was the top for before they did pairings for the day. So as you can see, that Quinlan Voss is up there, a little bit more diverse. There's George's CAD Blue. Couple of Jangos, and then we have Crispy Baby making top there with a Von Reg Yellow. So congrats, Crispy Baby. It's a spicy deck, by the way. I have a Von Reg showcase now, so like
me too.
It's now on my radar of things to play because I was playing Von Reg Green, but this just seems a little bit more fun. The second pool had a little bit more Jango and Quinlan's in there. There is a Sabine. You see a Sabine that showed up in there. So let's actually break down. So this is the first list. This is the Han Yellow. Again, we don't have to go over the whole list. Really, the big changes that they have in here is
Ahsoka's.
Yeah, Ahsoka's.
Bamboozled and Ahsoka's, right? Is that it? That's the only changes they made?
Bamboozle, Ahsoka's.
At least to the main deck? Yeah.
Yeah, main board. Sideboard, they added the Has His Moments, which, interesting. Why not just play, what's his name? Cad? Or not Cad, Plo?
Yeah, I guess if you don't have the board state, you'd go with the Han. It is kind of wild that this particular one only has 4 space units, and that's like 3 of the 3 cost yellow Falcons, and then like a Lando's Falcon.
Right.
This is very, very ground heavy. I don't exactly know what you do if they're going against a pretty space heavy deck. I mean, you got double Bamboozle and triple Waylay.
And Cunning.
Cunning.
Yeah, exhaust the stuff. I mean,
I got your Cantina Bouncer still. I guess you have Kira.
You have Kira's and
all stuff.
Your Ahsoka's, right? You know, you have the Ahsoka and the Cantina Bouncers. That's 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Ahsoka just
this card, yeah. But you have 18 hand hate bounce type cards that float between the two. So
it's just shocking to me after Jump to Lightspeed that people are playing so few ships. I don't get that.
Pilots are pretty rough when you can just bounce them or exhaust them or kill them immediately.
Yeah,
sure.
And with the Jango meta, it doesn't that's why we haven't seen a lot of like wedge decks take off, because you don't play a lot of that if everybody's just bouncing or exhausting. You know, I mean, I'll tell you when I first started doing my Vader yellow deck and people would play the pilots, they'd play Chewie turn 2, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna tap that down. Oop, I'm going to tap it down again. It could just sit there. It's not a Sentinel. It could just sit there forever. Like, you're never going to play it. Never going to let you swing with it, you know? So.
Shove it on a Bright Hope.
Yeah, then that's sad. I cry a little bit then.
Or Concord Dawn.
Yeah, well, that means people have to play blue, so... So
blue's good.
Really, there's not a lot of different. Like the sideboard's a little bit different. The Commandeers are now in there. The Gamble Guards are in the side versus in the main. So it's a little bit different. The bigger one is this is the CAD Blue deck. This is the Colossus deck. This deck I'm a little bit more interested in just because this is more my play style than the Han one. Alex, you want to go over this deck real quick?
Sure. I just need... What is the other space card? I'm just blanking on what that is. Okay. Anyways, so this is Cad Bane Colossus. So we got triple Bazine, triple of the 3 cost OG Boba, triple Cad Bane, triple Cloud Rider, triple Crafty Smuggler, triple Long Pike, triple Pike Sentinel, Double Sedan. That's the guy who could just jump into a ship and give it perilous position.
So good.
Good card. Double Snoke and a single Dryden for funsies, which is pretty funny. We got triple the Contracted Jump Master. That's the 2/4 Sentinel. And then triple the Smuggler Starfighter. I believe that's the G1A that, like, if you have an Underworld card, you give something -3/-3 or whatever.
Yep.
Or -2/-2.
Yep. I think it has Coordinate too, doesn't it?
No, it has Smuggle.
Okay. That's right.
So,
That's right. You're right. Yep.
If you smuggle it out and you have an Underworld unit, or if you play it and you have an Underworld unit, I guess Smuggling's still playing it. Yeah, you get the debuff there. So it is a -3/-0. So, like, it can kind of nerf stuff, but that's it for space, which is kind of wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got triple McClunky, triple Power of the Dark Side, double Covert Strength, double No Glory Only Result, double No Good to Me Dead, and double Relentless Pursuit. And you have a triple Hotshot Blaster and one Jetpack.
Just one.
Hey, you can smuggle it out anytime you need it.
Yep. It's an auto resource.
In the side you got double of the Ambush Bosk, double Electromagnetic Pulse, double Greedo, double I Am Your Father, and then double Client. So this is just play a bunch of Underworld cards. You got a whole bunch, try to outlast them, and you also have some control, which is good.
Again, 6 ships, dude. I mean, again, I get it. Pilots aren't doing great right now, but I think, like, the piloting isn't what's huge. It's people that are just going full board space. And you're just not going to be able to deal with it that great. I mean, I guess you have, like, CAD's ability to ping it, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure you played against Jango's, right, in the field, so...
Oh, yeah.
It still works.
Yeah, the Relentless Pursuit, like, that's the one... Because that's the one that captures, right? And then gives a shield if you have a bounty hunter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to capture that costs the same or less.
Yeah, I would think there need to be a little bit more Space Sentinel, but I mean, I guess, like, I understand because your big thing is you're able to ping things and then be able to, capture. He has some capture in there, and then, like, you have the Sedan Ethethos, however you say that. Like that card is pretty good. I don't understand the Dryden Voss other than, like, that's got to be for the lulz, right? Like,
I mean, you got the Relentless Pursuits.
You do, and then you play that, and then you're like, oh, here you go. Now I get whatever character I captured, I guess. Like,
there's a pretty cool. If you can stick a Contracted Jump Master and also have Lompike around, you can just continue giving that in shields, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, and the Covert Strength does a shield. You know what they should have is they should have that covering the wing in here, right? Like, there you go. That would actually probably be very good because you could play that, get the X-wing, and you get that. So now you have another ship space. Yeah, I think I would play that. But anyway, so this was
smuggle it out like half the other things in this deck.
Yeah, well, and the guy that created this deck, obviously, he was a Hondo guy, so this is on par for like a smuggle deck. So. Mm-hmm. They also had a 2K. The 2K was a lot similar probably the same people for the most part. Were playing in it. I know, like, a couple of the people that were in here. Grumpy Elephant played in this. This was the top 8 that they had. They had another one, the Cad Bane Blues, right? Like, this guy's using a different blue list. I got the wrong image in there, but it's the Cad Bane blue list. I used Dagobah Swamp, and this one has, like, an Avenger in it. This one, similar to the other one, a lot less smuggle and more focused on the on a few more units. But this has, like, the same thing, one more spaceship. That's it.
This one also has the 4-Lam and Zuckuss combo, which is pretty good.
Oh, they're not in the order. I see. Yeah, you're right. They do.
Yeah.
So, very similar. I don't know why we have an Annihilator in the sideboard, though, either. Like, that could just be a second Avenger, and you would feel just as good about it.
Yeah, I don't really see Cad Bane's getting up to 12 resources. What,
Watch
12
me.
or 11? 11 resources.
11.
I like just to play it to get rid of all my Lukes. Nah, they ain't.
You also appreciate the one-off Dryden Voss again.
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
Because that is shockingly consistent.
That's what I say. This set deck is very similar to George's. Outside of it,
Yeah,
has a
it's
little bit more bounty hunter presence.
I would also do double super laser blast in the side instead of FL, and that's just personally me. In case I'm losing the ground, or like in case I'm losing around, then you know.
In case they rip it out with any of the multitude of hand destruction cards.
Well, the runner up for this one was also a Cad Bane, but this was Cad Bane Green. Have we covered a Cad Bane Green on the show before?
A while ago. I can go through it real quick.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
I guess
sure.
let's go through just because I think this was a little bit different, but it feels similar to like the blue one we saw above.
There's not a lot of green in it
Yeah,
for what it's worth. So
there's malls. Look at that. There's some
That's
malls
true.
in it.
yeah, it's triple Forlom, triple Bazine, triple Boba Fett, the 3 cost, triple Crafty Smuggler, triple Maul, triple Sedan, triple Toro, triple Zuckus, double of the Ambush Boss, double Cad Bane, and a single Syndicate Lackeys. In the in the space arena, you got triple Contracted Jumpmaster, triple Mercenary Gunship. In the events, you got triple McClunky, triple Now There Are 2 of them, triple Overwhelming Barrage, and double Relentless Pursuit. And then, as upgrades, you have your triple Hajjaka Blaster and a single Jetpack again. In the side, you have triple Lurking TIE Phantom. I don't know why. Those things die so fast now. Double Commandeer, double Palp's Return, double Reinforcement Walker, and a third Cad Bane.
There's no ramp in this deck either.
Nope.
This is a rampless green deck.
My green is the triple Maul, triple Overwhelming Barrage, and like a couple of sideboard cards.
They should change the Syndicate Lackeys into a one of Drayden Voss, just in case. You know?
just to make it consistent.
just in case, guys.
They
Consistent.
got the double Relentless Pursuit.
Yeah, you got the double Relentless Pursuit. You got the Cad Banes. Put the Dryden in. Steal my Luke. Play it, dude. Come on.
I have lots of those Dryden Vosses too. So
Yeah, same.
It goes well with Cad Bane and Relentless Pursuit.
you know what it's really good in? Twin Sons with Jabba. There you go. If you could get it off. Good luck pulling it, but
Luke ran that once.
Got to search for
painful.
failings. It's like having 2 copies of Dryden Voss in my 80 card deck.
all right. Well, so that kind of concludes like the meta shape up. I mean, I don't think there's anything super surprising. Cad Bane I think we predicted Cad Bane would be one of the top ones that we would see. A little different seeing the Colossus there. That was a little bit more unexpected. I would have thought the Tarkin Town would have been a little bit more.
And if you run enough like low drops, which is what they're doing, because Underworld has a lot of low drops, you might as well just take the extra 5 health, right?
Yep.
It works with the control. Usually blue has a ton of control, right? So
Yeah.
you can go later.
Makes sense. So that's kind of what the meta is shaping up to be. Next week, Denver is happening, so we'll have more next week talking a little bit about the Denver qualifier, and maybe we'll see a shift in the meta, but probably not. So